looks like we've hit a pause of people in the waiting room, so I think we'll go ahead and begin. Again, my name is Shadley Gray. I'm with Agency Management Institute. For those of you who may not know, AMI is dedicated to helping elevate small to mid-sized marketing companies through all kinds of tools and workshops and the yearly BABA Summit in Denver. Um, we started this webinar series at the beginning of this year to offer some more hands-on education for agency owners that might be trying to figure out how to best leverage their skills and time and resources. I am thrilled to have Stacy Jones with us today. I will let her introduce herself in just a second. And I don't really have any house cleaning. I think if you have questions as we go along, you can drop them in the chat. We have someone with us that is monitoring the chat room. And with that, Stacy, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself and then we'll get started.
Fantastic. Well, welcome everyone. This is not going to be a boring agency capabilities presentation or what you could possibly be doing in the world of your agency. What we're going to be talking about today is how we put your brand into the stories people love, protect you in the wild world of Hollywood, and make sure every dollar and every moment works as hard as possible for you. I'm Stacy Jones, and I'm the founder and the CEO of Hollywood Branded. For the last 18 years, we've been building partnerships between brands and the biggest names in entertainment, campaigns that don't just get seen, but they get remembered, shared, and turned into real results. And today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how we do that, why most brands miss it, and how we make sure you don't and your clients stay safe. And for this group, I'm also going to talk to you about how agencies can partner with us because, yes, we provide commissions when you bring us into your agency world where we can help you grow. Your audience is really not waiting for a commercial for your clients. They're not sitting at home waiting to be advertised to. They're on Netflix, they're on TikTok, they're on YouTube, they're inside games for hours at a time. And what drives their buying decisions is not a 30-second spot. It's the creators they follow, the stories they love, and the entertainment IP that gets everyone talking. And the line between content, commerce, and culture, it just doesn't exist anymore. Entertainment is the media, culture is the currency. And here's the warning. Hollywood is high risk. I've worked here in this industry for almost 30 years. One bad fit, one bad partner, one bad timing, and your clients are not just wasting money, they're damaging their brand and you're trying to race to the rescue. That's why we exist, to make sure that you're in the right stories with the right people at the right time. This is F1 the movie. I'm not sure how many of you guys have seen it. I'm assuming a few of you out there, since it is one of the summer's biggest blockbuster films of all time. It's Brad Pitt, Warner Brothers, Apple, the biggest brand integration of brand partners Hollywood has ever seen. Only a few agencies in the world even got the invite to pitch for those race team title spots that you saw on screen in that very long, nonstop F1 race of a movie. We didn't just pitch it, we won both. Expensify and Peak. And that wasn't luck, that was access, strategy, and execution. And before the movie even began, the trailer alone drove 17 million stock trades when the average daily volume for Expensify was under 560,000. Jim Cramer picked it up on Mad Dash and boom, 37 million in value in a single day. We brought a client $37 million in new revenue, new capital value in a single day from a partnership that we built. This is insane. This is crazy. But that is the power of what Hollywood can actually do. This wasn't just a placement. We layered McDonald's meals, Mattel toys, Tommy Hilfiger at the Met Gala, 3 music videos, EA Sports integrations, and a full cultural ecosystem. We didn't just put brands in a movie, we turned a movie into a global marketing machine. And that's the power of getting in early and getting it right and having the right relationships. I'm going to show you a case study because it really will be the best that you have ever seen. I mentioned to you, so trailer.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
And if you don't love me now, we'll never.
My Rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young.
Ever break the chain.
You plus him, boom, I got a team.
I can still.
When was the last time you won a race?
Sunday, Daytona.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
There's this new guy. He's old. He's such a prick. He's quick though.
Get any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't
be such an
ass dickhead. That was constructive.
Wow.
Did you win something? There's 20 other drivers still out on that track. Do you think any of them respect us?
They're saying Sonny Hayes isn't a has-been. He's a never was.
If the last thing I do is drive that car, I will take that life, man. 1,000 times.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
Ever break the chain.
So that was just the trailer. That's not even the movie. Our clients were seen over and over again. But after the trailer came out, and just a teaser actually last May, this is what happens.
Have you seen
$3.5 trillion in market
well,
cap?
it's new news. Have you seen the trailer for F1?
No.
Okay, this is their new movie coming out with Brad Pitt. It's one of the most exciting trailers I've ever seen. This is the kind of thing that's going to make it so. I'm not kidding. It starts at IMAX, but Apple Plus is just gaining momentum. This is going to do it. And David, I want you to remember one stock. If you remember one stock from this morning show, one stock, it's Expensify.
That's a stock?
Well, Expensify was one of these companies that came public during the worst period in the market, during the SPAC period, but this is actually an underwriting. It does expense management, and they are one of the sponsors of the mock team that is the team that's in F1, led by Brad Pitt.
Covering a lot of ground here.
Well, Shark Ninja is one of the companies.
A lot of
okay,
ground.
So David,
how about? Oh, now we're going to show the trailer.
Okay, so David, okay. Oh my God, this is so good. This is an Apple original film, by the way. Guys, I am telling you. First of all, coolest man in the room.
Look at him.
Coolest man in the room.
Still looks great.
But David, on his head, you have Shark Ninja. They all bought. They are the people who ended up paying for this movie.
Got it.
David, this is one of the smartest things I've ever seen. You get Expensify in there. It's $1 stock, by the way, for those who are curious. And the great guy, a handsome guy, fantastic guy. But he puts a helmet on, and it's like real. This is real. Look at this. Expensify. Did you see that?
There's another public company called F1, just to let you know.
These guys,
a Liberty company.
Who that cares? Look at these. Look at these sponsors. Wait till you see the helmet. When you see the helmet, David, look at this. Look at this. Expensify. Shark Ninja. That's who you want. Buy those stocks.
All right. This went in a different direction.
A white chip company.
And I expect.
17 million trades happened after 560,000 normal for Expensify. We couldn't have done this. We didn't orchestrate this. We did not make Mad Dash happen, but we got the brand in the heart of pop culture so the story could evolve, and we got them in the right scenes for this to be able to happen. And getting access, getting into the content, that's just the first step. After there, it's figuring out how you can actually expand it. And movies are starting to get, especially after this one, a little bit more dialed in about how to become better partners. So not only was Expensify and Peak But within the whole movie, for Expensify, they were also included in the 3 artist soundtrack music videos. And I'm not going to play the whole things for you, but I want you to see how pretty this is.
I don't wanna lose my mind. I don't wanna lose myself.
That happened with Don Toliver. It ended up happening with Tate McRae. It happened with Ed Sheeran. We have the Met Gala with Tommy Hilfiger.
Did he drive here? One, two, stand down!
Tommy Hilfiger was one of the sponsors of the film, and he recreated that jumpsuit for Damson to be able to wear on the red carpet, and Damson ended up pulling up in that Expensify branded vehicle. We even had EA Sports end up creating a video game extension of F1 where Expensify and the other brand partners were integrated throughout it. This is more than just a moment. This was something that it's a cultural change in the history of how movie making is going to continue working with brands into the future. So typically, brands miss the mark often. Big brands miss it most of the time. Small and middle brands miss it very frequently as well. Not always because of money and not because people aren't talented in how they're approaching things. It's because people show up late. They think too small. They treat pop culture like a media buy. It's nothing that is programmatic. It is an entire creative process. Everything that we do is like producing a commercial every single solitary time. And you all know how much work that is to brand and create. By the time a brand typically hears about a project, the best moments are usually gone. They plug themselves in where they can. They wonder why no one noticed them afterwards, or they do so in one big flashy moment. They skip the follow up and then they complain that the ROI wasn't there. Culture moves too fast for this. The wins happen really early when scripts are still in flux, when casting is undecided, when marketing plans are still a blank page. And that's where my team works. We guide your team toward what's going to be a big hit and get you in before anyone else is even calling your brands. Most agencies stop at placement. We start there. We shape the creative so that it fits the brand. We negotiate rights so no one else can touch it. We produce content you can actually own, amplify it across PR, retail, influencer, and media, and then track it so it keeps paying off. And culture moves too fast to just be in it. You have to own your space inside it. And that's what we make happen. And by all means, everything I'm sharing with you today and the roadmap I'm going to show you, you can apply this within your own agency setting. You can take our processes and you can work to make sure that you kind of row in the right direction so that you have those same positive results. So this is our formula. It's called Playbook, Radar, Access, Produce, Amplify. And it's why we can pull off giant wins like F1. Playbook is where the strategy lives. Radar keeps you plugged into live opportunities. Access gets you into the room. Produce means we build it ourselves if needed. Amplify ensures that our clients own the moment. And again, most brands show up late. We get brands there early. And for agency partners, this is a plug and play system where you are able to stay in control with your brand, co-brand with us, and build something that would be pretty hard probably for you to be able to do on your own. Just to touch on, we work a little bit differently. I don't know how much y'all have like dove into different ways of making money and trying to convince clients that, you know, you are worth every penny that you are. We've come up with what we call the Hollywood branded points program, trying to deal with the fact that, you know, brands always are like willing to pay for the actual media. They're willing to pay for that third party thing, they always challenge us on our own costs in dollars. So we've come up with a really transparent way to make that actually happen. And at the same time, we reward brands that are working with our team with bonus points and credits so that the more that we can get them to commit up front into a program, we can give them additional service on the back end. It's something I've been playing with. I think it was Jay, trying to remember who came up with all of this originally as points, and I've evolved it over the years. But it really works, and it's something that hopefully is going to make us and others a lot more money. So with the playbook, we start everything with a very detailed dive into strategy. A lot of you all do discovery sessions. We try to take this up into a even higher level. We've built out tiers for every level. It's basically their insurance policy in Hollywood for brands. And we start with an intake with it's quick, it's self-serve. We do mapping. We look at their Hollywood footprint and give a broad overview of it. We do discovery with that detailed strategy session, understanding, teaching of them, teaching of us, lots and lots of education. Then we go into foundational playbooks with where we develop 12-month roadmaps and consultations and create very detailed, enhanced playbooks from there that are multi-track, bringing in product placement and movies and TV shows and music over to influencer marketing, to celebrities, to red carpets, to fashion, to sports, all of that world of how they can actually expand what they're doing. We look at IP partnerships from licensing. It's very, very extensive of everything that we could possibly build as a creative nut that your team, your agency could then take into your ecosystem and amplify further. No matter which tier we bring brands into, the goal is always the same. We protect and we expand the impact and we make every dollar work harder. In the end, we really work to have everyone walk away with an alignment, a roadmap, and very strong creative concepts. We then move over to what we call our Hollywood radar. And so this is opportunities. We have created a system where we literally are this brain that just goes out and we find opportunities under every stone. We have productions who call us every single solitary day saying, here's my production. Can you bring us money? Here's my production. Can you help us? Here's my production. So we have sponsorships for anything that you can think of. They have reached out to peg us as an agency of we are the ones who can bring dollars in. So we get anything that dollars have that could be brought into. So with Radar, we use it as our cultural opportunity engine. And we have curated opportunities in real time from film, like I said, to TV and music and talent. We filter them, we score them so that we don't waste time with clients. And then your team, your agency, we work with you to greenlight the winners and open that door to move it forward. And we have various access levels that we go from there that are very either light or deep so that clients can test the market of Hollywood, or they can actually build it out and really do a Hollywood takeover. And because Radar's tied back to the playbook, every opportunity is strategic. And it's not just what's hot this week. It's what's actually charging and supercharging pop culture. When you work with our team or you work with Hollywood, these are the people that you want to know. You want to be able to have access to insider relationships and opportunities and IP deals and production company support. You want to be able to amplify. And that's truly what our agency is able to help you with, as well as help you be able to story tell alongside. Access is one of that part of the whole processes that we work on. And that's where we bring ideas into action. And now I'm sitting here and I'm walking you through like, hey, this is what we do. Here's the next step. Here's the next step. I'm trying to do it to storytell because what we do is freaking hard to understand. It is really hard for your company when you have a brand who says, I'm interested in pop culture. How can I be in a movie? How can I be in a TV show? How do I budget for it? How do I actually get myself ready so that I can go out there? And you're sitting there going, I don't freaking know how to do that either. That's why we've set up this system. So access is where we're going to put ideas into action. That means that we can look for blockbuster placements or celebrity collabs, or we can take the brand over to the Oscars for a red carpet activation. You can do anything big or small inside of Hollywood. You can do something that is a turnkey, easy product placement program for $50,000, or you could do one that's $500,000, where the brand's getting into the content and it's building over time. We could look at something that's a red carpet tied to the Emmys, and you have a brand that wants to create a moment where it's going to be tied into an entertainment news show, and there's going to be someone walking on the red carpet and sampling someone beverages. All of those things are possible in Hollywood. We work with everyone under the sun where you're able to come up and create these very cool partnerships that even include IP licensing, where there's packaging and retail campaigns that are extended out. And now you're able to help bring in new dollars and ideas to your clients that they could actually profit from. A few slides ago, I showed a Emily in Paris partnership that we did with Saint Delphort. It's live and active right now. Saint Delphort is a preserves jam company from France, and they're headquartered here, also in the United States. They're not a giant company. They're in most grocery stores, but they've never done marketing. We're their first agency they've ever worked with at any kind whatsoever. And they started working with us on product placement to get their product, little jam jars into different movies and TV shows. And we had some really good success with that. I mean, hey, how many times do you need to see someone pull out jam on a room service cart? And you can see it right there. Fantastic. But those types of product placements, they live in the scene and they're moments, but they're on the scene. They're not like full front and facial. They're not something you're building a campaign around. But what we did, I'm going to go back here, this right here. What we did is we went and we negotiated and created a IP license partnership with Emily in Paris. We did a whole packaging program. We negotiated, we contracted, we're hand in hand with St. Delphort. We've added in influencer programs over it, PR programs, native advertising. But they took this in December to one of their trade events in Europe, and they opened up 40 new countries selling in this product. They just had Costco in Canada order 75,000 units, 75,000 units last week to be put into test campaigns throughout Canada. These campaigns that you can build and that we can help you build can drive actual revenue and allow you, again, I'm going to mention this, build your own services around them to amplify, to advertise, and to grow. How we deliver access is really through 4 steps. And this is really, really important. Everything that we do it starts with education. So we're trying to make sure that the production is aware of the brand, every asset that the brand has, every benefit that the brand has. If the brand has an advertising campaign that they do, traditional media buys, non-traditional media buys, if they're in unique retail settings, they have something that they can bring that no one else could bring to that production. We make sure that we know all of that so that we can share that back out. And then we can look for ways that we can possibly get that brand into the scene without having to pay any more money to the production. Over 60% of the productions out there don't take money. They have to bring their set to life without having contracted deals. And that's because either the ad network, like the television network broadcast, is doing such big media buys that they have closed out categories unless you're at that $5 million, $10 million mark. So the content can't be opened the door to in any official way. Or it could be that the director just has a lot of creative integrity and doesn't want to stop the cameras for even a moment to make sure that they're getting a brand in the exact perfect angle and the logo shot in the great perfect light, because that takes money and time on set, and it's a distraction for many directors too. We worked with BlackBerry for over a decade through all of their turbulent ups and downs, but we launched that brand. We made them #1 in Hollywood. We made them a competitor to Apple, to all sorts of iPhones and the like, in order to bring in a B2B footprint where every production needed a phone. We solved a problem. We got phones in the hands of prop masters and set decorators who needed a story tell. And that's the first secret of working with Hollywood. How does the brand help tell a story and make their lives easier? They're either going to have to go out and get licensing rights and clearance forms. They're going to have to go out and purchase. They're going to have to go out and rent. They're going to have to do all these different things unless we can create a seamless way for them to be able to tell their story in a real world setting. Every time you see a grocery store, those are products that are brought in. That's not a real grocery store. They're not going over to Tom Thumb or Safeway or Vons and setting up shop and filming. They're out on a lot and or they're at a studio where they have a fake fictitious set where they have built every last thing, every piece of furniture in a scene. That is something that has been brought into the production, whether they've purchased it, made it, or got it on loan. Everything someone wears, if you're having a character who is high end and is like state of the art super Mr. Lux, man, he needs a Mont Blanc pen. He needs to be driving a BMW and he needs to be wearing a Rolex watch because it helps storytell who his character is, who he is better. So we look for all the ways that a brand can actually enter the world of Hollywood through a trade basis where they're working and they're loaning their product, it's going out on the set, and better yet, nothing gets kept by productions. There's no prop masters and set decorators who are like, oh, I got all this product, let me take it home now. They don't want it. Their day's done. They want to return it and they want to move on. So they return all that stuff to us. We re-warehouse it, we re-inventory it, and then it goes out to another production again. And we do these on a cycle basis, typically for a 3-year time period over and over again, building these partnerships out. And beyond the trade, then if you want to storytell, if you want to actually really make an impact, if you want to do something like what we did with Expensify or Peak, then there's going to be a cash investment. There's going to be a fee that's written to a production. That fee could be anything from $50,000 to $10 million or more. It just depends on the opportunity. There is no rate card out there. There is no, hey, it costs this to do that. It is all made up. It's based upon, our agencies actually help make up a lot of those rates because we have a blog that everyone reads in the industry and they follow what I say and what we should be pricing things at. But it is all conditional on the director, the talent, the scene, the opportunity, the distributor. There is no way to go in and be like, oh, it will cost this much. It all is conversations. It all takes place over a lot of different negotiations to come up with what that might be. And that makes it really hard for your clients to know how much a program in Hollywood is ever going to be. That goes back to our framework of why we work within, how we do, so that we can set people up for success. And then there's Amplify. And this is where the magic is really for your agencies. And this is why we have about 60% of our business comes from agencies, where we work to expand that impact. We work to get it through PR, through social, through retail, through media. That doesn't mean our agency is doing that. That means the campaign is being expanded in all of those different ways. We work with other agencies to give them reasons to invent business for themselves using the power of pop culture as that base, as that creative storytelling element. Produce, that's another part of our whole system, is where we are now going in and we're producing content. Is it a commercial that needs to be shot or extra footage that needs to be shot to be added to the commercial? Elio, which is out right now, we have a partnership with Pilot Pens, and we've worked with Pilot for the last, I think, 15 or 16 years now. And with them, we have them on every single episode of the Kelly Clarkson Show. 180 episodes a year. It's a very large integration partnership that they've done. We're in our year 6 of that now. And it's really great because every episode they bring in a feel-good moment back to the show because they honor someone who was identified through social media as doing an act of kindness. And we have it all tied back to writing. But then we also have segments throughout the year through that. And when we have those segments, we produce additional content for them for that is taken away that Pilot can now use through their social for amplification, to take away, to do additional advertising with it. So all of our campaigns are tied in to be able to grow into something where we can produce and make additional content for future campaign extensions. Elio, the brand's not in the movie. However, we took IP footage from Disney. We worked with their Pixar team. We did some hand shoots. We did some voiceover talent shoots. We had it all produced and packaged together. And now we have an ad that's running for Pilot's back to school period from June and through October over the theatrical release as well as the home entertainment release with an overlay of influencer unboxings where we created this super cute box that the influencers then open up and go through. We do a lot of super cute boxes. They play really, really well in the influencer space. We then did PR overlays. We work in partnership with Bright Red and Zimmerman as their media agencies. So they ran the media campaigns. Doing the same thing with Pilot right now with Project Runway. We're in our 6th season for that partnership as well, where we broker, we negotiate, we actually secure all of the partnership, including the media, and then we hand over the capability and scalability to the media agency to run with it and traffic and handle all of that. And they work through that through their microcosm. We don't take over the media. We create opportunities for them to run media. We can do documentaries. We can work with you to create short form advertising moments. You can produce content with directors. We worked with Michael Bay to shoot a commercial after filming LG Wings launch into the movie Songbird. Never had a brand go bankrupt in the middle of a campaign. That was a first. Anything that can happen in Hollywood, I've had it happen. We also then do amplify, as I was just mentioning on that. I didn't move my slides, but these are the ways. This is the how we can bring it to life. This is a really cool other campaign we did for Pilot Pen with Mean Girls, where we did product placement in the film. We had the content, enough product placement and trailer footage and other footage to be able to take that, not have to shoot a whole new spot, bring it in, do another hand shoot, do another voiceover shoot, put all the content together, run it through influencer boxes, created this pink pack pen that actually is not an IP license. It's just has little squiggles on it. It's reminiscent of the film. Pilot put it up on Amazon. We drove all the advertising back to Amazon from the influencers and from certain PR and some of the media. To this day, it's still their #1 selling pack of pens due to this campaign. It has been a year and a half. These are all ways that we can help you, or you can take the ideas that I'm presenting to you today and you can bring that into your own world. Everything we do can be measured. It's much like PR. So, we all have clients and they're like, I don't really know how to measure PR. It's through impressions, but it's also through growth. We can also look at Google Analytics. We can look at anything that the brand actually has on their side that is lookable. A lot of times we all have clients who have, a crowded marketplace of different activities that can be hard to measure. We can come up with some really unique ways to measure impact, especially with short-term influencer campaigns or a PR overlay that leads to, and all of those extensions. With all of this, what we provide is going to be full service support, insight, strategy. Whatever you all need, we're here to help you and we're here to help your brands. Because you're part of AMI, I will always take your call. If anyone ever has a question, they're like, oh, we were thinking about, could we? You can always reach out with an email to me and I'm happy, always happy to respond to you and give you ideas. I kind of love it. I love giving ideas. I love fixing things. So please take me up on that. But just as a quick recap of, who we actually are and our track record. I mean, we've built over 10,000 campaigns. We have brought in our clients over 1 trillion impressions. We have made clients billions of dollars. When I say billions, we're credited for bringing back Canadian Club through making it Don Draper's drink of choice in Mad Men. Over a $350 to $500 million market cap valuation through that placement from airing year over year over year. That was a brand that was in 17 years of decline, and we brought it back. The campaigns we do drive market value. They drive sales. They drive conversations. They grow. And that's why I'm so passionate about product placement and influencer marketing and all things pop culture. It's cool. Bringing sexy into your campaigns unlocks the door that is just unreal as far as being able to work with. So that's really what I had to show you guys today. Um, I don't know if there's questions how we're doing on this. If you're ever interested and you want to know how all of this works, I have something I can show you with Drew's permission, and walk you through it. Um, but this will show you how like everything's set up. We have a really turnkey system. It's taken me 18 years to get to this point where I can confidently say we can solve any brand's pop culture problems with a very simple, clear way to communicate, to storytell, and to explain. The last thing I'm going to say is part of what we've built, and the reason why we've been able to get here today is I'm all into AI. I've spoken on this webinar series with AMI in the past. Like we are AI'd out the kazoo. I don't know any agency owner out there who uses AI more than we actually do. We talk about it, and my team's actually talking right now 30 minutes of their best usage of AI in a round robin setting where we teach every week. But we have completely mastered and created a database system and an AI and a platform where AI is built into it. And as part of doing that, we created what's called agent pitch. And the biggest issue for me, and it's always been the holdup in what we do, because every idea is so creative, and our big, massive ideas take my brain to do them. We've fed all of my history, all of our blogs. We have over 2,000 blogs, guys. I have over 400 podcasts I've hosted. We've fed all of that in. We've fed in lots of our emails, all of our back end. We've put in everything that is on Office in the brains of our organization. It's inside all of these AI engines now within our company. But we created this one really cool thing called Agent Pitch. And what it does is it scrapes our information in our databases. It brand matches over to the intake form for the brand, and it story tells and hunts through and helps us build the basic creative ideas in a turnkey manner. But what's even better than that, it then has a button I can push, and it can generate a very detailed, very pretty, better than anything that, quite frankly, my team on their own would be generating proposal that can go out. And the reason why I'm also talking to you guys about that right now is how we've built it and how we've created it. And Drew, I promise I'm going to talk to you about this, but we actually can have you all have access to that as well. It's customizable. It's in our infrastructure, but we built it already. And I have a team of AI who is working with agencies to help actually create a pitch solution, a proposal solution for in-house proposals using that same ecosystem. So putting it out there, if anyone's interested in this whole unbelievable world that we're going into with AI, let me know that as well. And that is that. Sadly, did I talk enough?
That was fantastic. I did see F1, by the way. I saw it on IMAX opening weekend. It's not really a film I thought I would have loved, but man, that was just totally
So good.
so
Oh,
extraordinary. I loved it. Yeah.
no, when I first found out that I was going to be spending 3 years of my life in F1, and trust me, I was going to like F1 races around the world. Like, I am not the F1 person. I'm not that gal. That
Yeah.
is not me. My God, such an unbelievable experience. And then the movie, if you guys are not into racing movies, it doesn't matter. It has heart, it has feeling, it has romance, it has all the essentials of a movie that make it something that will be watched for the next 2 decades. And my clients are going to be in that content every single time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We do have the floor open for questions. If anyone has a question, you can either drop it in the chat. We're a small enough group at this point. If you also just want to unmute yourself and ask a question, you can. We'll hang out for a couple minutes to see if there are any questions. If not, we can log off early. But
And if not, I appreciate all of you guys hanging in and listening and to all of this. Some of you who I know, I saw your names coming in.
yeah, it's a fantastic or it's a fascinating world that we're moving into as far as these partnerships, especially in the AI space
Yeah.
and the way that it's leveling some playing fields and it's bringing people in to some potential partnerships that might otherwise seem not connected,
Yeah.
because of things like F1. It's like
Mm.
you wouldn't necessarily, that doesn't seem like an obvious, but then you think about what they're like as far as, the branding with on everything, that they're represented by everybody. The racers are represented by,
It's a brand meets brand meets brand world. Like that movie, I've done a lot of press around this film, and that movie would not make sense if it didn't have brands in it. It would look weird. Like if Brad Pitt showed up and he didn't have brands and logos on him, you'd be like, why is the guy wearing the blank slate?
yeah, or if they were all fake, like that they were
Hmm.
all like fictionalized, you'd be like, that seems, do you not have the budget for that? It just feels, it legitimizes the story when it feels, and
Yeah.
especially with that film, it is so immersive. You are literally in the car and you are in that whole universe. I think it makes a lot of sense to have those partnerships that are,
That's why they got $40 million for it
yeah,
or more in partnerships. But it's not just those. Like F1 is like the biggest movie that's going to be in your face with brands. Like that's hard to not understand. But if we can make a pen a star, and that's why I brought it up, and I didn't really story tell that really well. Like we put pens in movies and TV shows, and people can see the logo of the pen in big ways and relate it to characters that actually tie back into the ethos of that pen. We've been doing that over and over. We've doubled pilots' revenue, actually, their sales. They're not the revenue, their sales in all the years that we've worked with them.
yeah.
And it's through the efforts that we're doing. And storytelling works, product placement works, celebrity partnerships work, influencer works.
We will let everybody get back to their days since we don't seem to have any questions. And I very much appreciate you hanging out with us for a bit and diving into so much of this that is fascinating and confusing. And
It's a lot.
Mhm.
It's a lot. It's a really confusing world. It's not something that you can just like duck into and duck out. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that we get from agencies. Thanks, Christine. Um, is that, can they just like try it? And it's
Right,
hard to just try something that is a very immersive marketing practice.
right. Are you okay if I drop your email address into the chat?
Please do. Absolutely. It's Stacy at hollywoodbranded.com. Stacy, Stacy at hollywoodbranded.com.
Yep, and I will drop mine in as well in case anyone has any questions. Um, we have been recording this and it will be on the AMI website probably in a week, maybe two. We can get a little bit behind as far as getting these edited and up, but they will be up and out there. So feel free to follow up with me if you want to know when it's available. And with that, Stacy, thank you
I
again.
do.
It was lovely to hang out with you for a bit. And everyone
Thank
else,
you.
have a great rest of week. And I will see you again in 2 weeks when we have another webinar.
Bye, Dominique. Thanks.
Bye bye.